times where people ignore the red flags and say, let's just keep pushing, those are the times where you fail. The majority of things that we're buying are created by men. You always learn more from your failures than you do your success.
Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni are at the center of a huge Hollywood drama that has everybody talking. This situation is full of shocking claims, heated confrontations, and very serious accusations. People in social media circles and the entertainment industry are asking one big question. He could become an example of someone who stood up for the truth, even against a very famous star with a powerful PR machine. But if, for any reason, Justin's own claims turn out to be exaggerated, then he might face even more backlash. The stakes are high on both sides. Fans are split down the middle. Some say Blake has always come across as a kind, genuine person, so they doubt she would lie about something this big. Others point to the evidence Justin's team claims to have, like text messages showing Blake inviting him over, to argue that she must be lying. This has created a huge divide online, with each side calling the other naive or biased. The media coverage hasn't helped much. Different outlets have taken different positions, either supporting Blake or believing Justin. The truth is probably buried somewhere deep in the middle. However, the lawsuits will eventually force both of them to show evidence. Lawyers are making statements, and gossip columns are having a field day with the story. Every new development seems to spark more arguments online. People want to know who's lying, who's telling the truth, and who will emerge from this conflict with their career and bank account still intact. In court, there's no hiding. How did things get so out of control? Let's start from the beginning. According to Justin Baldoni, he poured in endless hours of planning and creativity, hoping everything would go smoothly. But when Blake Lively came on board as a lead actress, Justin says she took over the project in a way that pushed him aside. He came forward in interviews insisting he was innocent and had evidence to prove it. He claimed that Blake Lively's accusations were entirely made up. He even brought up text messages that showed Blake inviting him to her trailer multiple times. But trying to set him up to look guilty, Blake, meanwhile, stuck to her story. She filed a $250 million lawsuit against Justin for the harm she said he caused her. She wanted to hold him legally accountable in a very big, very expensive way. In response, Justin filed his own counter lawsuit for $400 million. He argued that Blake's accusations destroyed his reputation and his career. The numbers involved are huge, and if Blake loses, she could be in serious financial trouble, given that her net worth isn't close to $400 million. Observers in Hollywood began comparing Blake to Amber Heard, another actress who was involved in a major case where both sides made damaging claims. They said Blake might be trying to use the Me Too movement to portray herself as a victim, even though Justin claims he has strong evidence she made the whole thing up. Suddenly, the actress who used to be seen as a bubbly, down-to-earth star was being called manipulative, controlling, and dishonest.
Asking for the gag order and explaining how he's talking too much. He's threatening to post stuff on public sites. So what I think is, this looks good for Baldoni, right? He's like, we want to make it all public. And sometimes lawyers can do this knowing that they can't actually do what they say they're going to do.
On top of that, Justin says Blake hijacked the premiere of It Ends With Us. He claims she banned him from fully attending the event, even though he spent years developing the movie. According to Justin, he had to stay in a basement while Blake posed for photos and took all the spotlight. The fact that she managed to prevent him from celebrating his own film shocked people. It looked like she had enough power and influence to call the shots in a project that wasn't originally hers. Things got even more complicated when Justin's lawyer, Brian Fredman, revealed more details about what they say really happened behind the scenes. He alleged that Blake's PR team actively worked to spin the media in her favor. Blake and Justin will both have to testify under oath. They'll have to show text messages, emails, and other records that might shed light on what really happened during filming. If these records back up Justin's version, Blake's reputation could be shattered. If they prove Blake's story, Justin could find himself in even more trouble. The court of public opinion, however, can sometimes ignore facts in favor of whichever story is more dramatic or fits their existing beliefs.
And that's part of the point that Justin's team is making in kind of complying with what they're viewing as threats made on her behalf against Justin is like, well, there's this financial consequence to everything in addition to the strike consequences too, right? So they filmed May to June, then shut down for the strike, and then they were down until January. But I think that the strike lifted in November, but then she had all these return to work provisions.
Whichever way it goes, the damage has already been huge. Blake's image as a fun, friendly star has taken a major hit, has become a symbol of chaos and controversy instead. Even fans of the original book might be wondering what kind of film they'll be seeing once all this is over. Others believe each side wants to see the other completely defeated. It's possible that pride and anger are fueling this fight more than any logical plan. And that means the legal battles could drag on for a long time, costing even more money and causing more stress. Meanwhile, talk about Blake's diva behavior continues. Rumors say she demanded everything from special lighting at all times to changes in the storyline that didn't make sense. If those rumors are false, Blake's team will surely push back. But so far, her team has mostly stayed quiet, other than filing legal motions and requests for gag orders that haven't been granted. If Blake truly did orchestrate a campaign to paint Justin as a villain, it's one of the biggest Hollywood hoaxes in recent memory. If Justin is the one twisting the story, then it's an example of how easily someone can turn a serious issue into a personal vendetta.
What Blake says, a conversation that she heard had taken place with Steve Sarowitz. Steve Sarowitz is the head of Wayfair Studios. He is the co-founder of Wayfair Studios, along with Justin. And she says in this lawsuit that, and it's interesting, she says, this is what I heard, he said, but it's presented as a quote in the lawsuit. She says that Steve said, "I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas."
Either way, the stakes could not be higher. Ryan's silence continues to fuel speculation about the state of his marriage with Blake. People naturally assume a spouse would stand by their partner in such a big fight. His choice not to speak might mean he's not sure which side is correct, painting her as a helpless victim while making Justin look like a villain. This was especially damaging because large parts of Hollywood believed her at first, leading Justin to be blacklisted by many potential employers. Because of the accusations, Justin faced severe mental and emotional stress. Imagine working for years to build your career, only to see it crumble because of one person's claims. Claims you insist are false. He said that the drama affected not just his work, but also his family's well-being. Losing his agency was a big blow too. He felt like no one in the industry wanted to be associated with him. Meanwhile, Blake's side claims that Justin was the one who was truly difficult to work with. They say his version of the story is an attempt to cover up his own mistakes and wrongdoing.
Amended complaint and the ongoing legal battle, Lively's legal team saying the experiences of Ms. Lively and others were documented at the time they occurred starting in May of 2023. Going on to write, Mr. Baldoni acknowledged the complaints in writing at the time.
The courts are now involved, and the lawsuits are moving forward. The judge has already made a few significant decisions. For example, Blake asked for a gag order, which would have stopped Justin from talking publicly about the case. The judge said no, which was seen as a setback for Blake. She also wanted to choose who would question her under oath, but the judge denied that request too. These legal losses made Blake look weaker and less in control than she might have hoped. The